These 6 Georgia Bulldog commitments are way better than their current ranking. That's what we're talking about in today's video. Probably the last recruiting video that I'm going to make as we inch closer and closer to the 2025 season. Georgia takes on Marshall next Saturday, so we're almost there, but I definitely want to come on here and share some final thoughts, really, about where Georgia sits in the 2025 class. And I want to talk about some of these guys who should be ranked a lot higher than where they currently are. I got 3 guys on defense, 3 guys on offense. So let's jump right into it, right? So the first guy I want to talk about plays on defense on the defensive line, and that's Valdon Sohn, a massive 6'4", 320-pound interior defensive lineman. Played out in Sweden. That's where he's originally from. Played in Virginia last year, but this is a guy that Georgia got on the commit list fairly recently. He's one of their newer commitments, even though he committed, I believe, some point last month. So he's been on the commit list for a while, but this is a guy that Georgia has wanted and offered actually 2 years ago. So he's been on their radar. He was higher on their board than I originally thought. But this is a guy that Georgia pushed for badly. And when you turn on the tape, it's easy to see why. You can go watch it over on dogpost.com. He is big, he is physical, he's athletic, plays with good leverage, still learning the game, but size, power, quickness, the ability to blow up a play in the backfield for a guy that continues to learn the game and progress. He's someone that the Georgia staff locked on early. They knew the potential that he had. They pushed hard for him, and they were able to land his commitment over the summer. He's the number 15 defensive line commitment in the country, number 129 overall. I find it hard to believe that there are 14 other defensive linemen in the country better than him when you talk about, size, power, potential. This guy can play. And again, Georgia offered him 2 years ago, stayed on him the entire time. That shows you how much Trey Scott likes him. Trey Scott, one of the best defensive line coaches in college football. Everyone knows that. When he locks on a prospect and he pushes for one, you know the kid can play. So number 15 defensive lineman in the country, not buying that. I think he's better. Let's stay on defense, somewhat around the defensive line. We're going to talk about the edge position, and that's Kamari Brooks out of North Oconee, Georgia's lone edge commitment. He was their biggest target on the edge. Local guy. They knew how good he was. He's currently ranked as the number 19 edge defender in the country. That is blasphemous. 6'3", 235, a two-way player, actually a three-way player, offense, defense, special teams. This kid brings it. He is super athletic, can catch the ball at tight end, make a lot of plays there, but his ability to get after the quarterback and make plays behind the line of scrimmage is really, really impressive. Georgia offered him, I believe, early last season, early in the fall, maybe in the middle of last season, and they said, this is our guy. This is our guy. We're going to lock on him, get him on board. He was a silent commitment before making his decision, choosing Georgia over Alabama this summer. But he's got size, he's got a great motor, he gets after it, he's fundamentally sound, he is a strong competitor, he works hard, and the guy just makes plays, makes a lot of tackles, pressures the quarterback consistently. The guy lived in the backfield last year, and if you're telling me there's 18 edge defenders who are better than him, I'm going to say that you are incorrect. You're incorrect, and I think the Georgia staff would agree. They love this kid. He was the only guy that they really targeted on the edge. They got their guy, and he is a lot better than the number 19 edge defender in the country, number 137 overall. I think he should be right around that top 100 player in the country. Probably easy top 15, maybe a top 10 edge. I know there's a lot of really good players across the country at that position, but number 19, are you kidding me? That's off. That's off. Let's go to offense right now. And if you're familiar with my work, if you're on Dog Post, you know how high I am on this young man. Say it with me. 4-star wide receiver Craig Dandridge out of Cambridge High School, a guy I've talked about nonstop, it feels like, over the last 9 months. A shifty, athletic, speedy wide receiver out of Cambridge High School in Alpharetta, Milton, kind of right in between there. 6'1", 175. This kid floats in the air. He's got a great vertical. He can make a tough catch in traffic. He can catch the ball up high over a defender. He can catch it going to the ground. He can make defenders miss after the catch. Put up a ton of numbers last year as a junior, and you could read all about that and watch his clips over on Dog Post for free, by the way, so make sure you're doing that. But he had a really strong game one. He only played 18 snaps because his high school team, Cambridge, who should have a really, really good year, they blew out a team 45-0, but he did have the long touchdown. He's going to make a bunch of plays this year, but he is ranked right now as the number 37 wide receiver in the country. That is insane. That is insane. Number 218 overall. No, 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 no. This kid's better than that. I think one outlet actually has some sense to them and moved him up in their latest rankings. I guess the other outlets still don't know what they're looking at. But when I watch this kid play, I see a big-time playmaker, a guy who makes a lot of plays, early down in distance, right? And short yardage, intermediate, down the field. This guy can do it all. He's a really good route runner, creates separation. And once he has the football, he is tough to corral because he can outrun plenty of defenders. And he plays in the North Fulton area, which is one of the more talented, rich areas across the state. And he's cooking these DBs, cooking them. He's going to have a massive, massive senior season this fall. Lincoln Keys, the tight end that Georgia got on the commit list, I believe last November. He is the lowest ranked of the 3 tight ends they have on board. So I get why Georgia fans maybe have forgotten about him or don't know a ton about him. But 6'6", 235, plays in Michigan. He's the number 12 tight end in the country, 238 overall. But if you turn on the tape, it's hard to think about that because the guy just makes a lot of plays. He's got size. This is not a John Fitzpatrick 6'6", 230, 240 guy who can maybe help you in the passing game, but more of a blocker. This guy can catch passes, and he can get upfield, and he can win jump balls. There's a lot to like about his game. I think he's a really good athlete for his size, but he is strong in the run game. He's going to continue to get better and better. Doesn't play against the best competition, so there will be a learning curve when he gets to Athens. But another guy with ball skills, with size, with toughness, and a guy who loves to work and loves to compete. I think he fits Georgia's culture really well. But he makes a lot of plays, and he can be a dangerous weapon in the red zone. So if you're telling me he's the number 12 tight end prospect in the country, there must be 11 outstanding ones in front of him. 2 are committed to Georgia, but when I look at Georgia's commit list, I see Lincoln Keys there sitting at number 238 overall. I'm thinking that something's wrong there. This kid can play, and this guy that Georgia fans really need to know about. Nick Abrams, we're going back to defense. Nick Abrams, the linebacker, I think he has fallen in the rankings on the other outlets. It feels like he's been ranked higher than this at one point, but right now he's the number 19 linebacker, number 294 overall. And that's not what I see when I turn on his tape. And I'm not just saying this because the kid's committed to Georgia. I'm saying this because there are a lot of really smart college coaches who really wanted this kid. I think at the end of the day, he chose Georgia over Alabama, Michigan, and Oregon. Those are top programs. All right, and they wanted this kid bad. Georgia got him. But if you're telling me there's 293 better prospects in the country, I've got a lot of questions, and I question, what you're looking at when you're watching the film. But he's really young, but he's got good size, 6'2", 220, moves like he's a lot quicker than that. He can jump. He's got good instincts. He's fundamentally sound when he's tackling. He brings a physical presence. He can make plays in coverage. Glenn Schumann wanted him. Glenn Schumann identified him, recruited him hard. Glenn Schumann landed him. And I can tell you right now, Glenn Schumann and the Georgia staff thinks he is better than his current ranking. There's no doubt about it. But he moves well. I think he dissects plays quickly. He can make plays in the backfield. But this is a guy who's only going to get better. Again, he is really young for his age. But he's a playmaker. And he's got a muscular frame. He's only going to continue growing from a physical side of things, but when he gets to Athens and continues to learn and practices against the best of the best, his game is only going to improve. But 294 overall, that's crazy low. This kid's a lot better than that. Let's go to the offensive line. Zachary Lewis out of North Gwinnett, 6'4", 275. I thought I had his ranking listed in my notes. I don't. He is a 3-star. He is not ranked very high. That's what I know. When I see him, I see a versatile, tough, gritty offensive lineman who plays hard. He plays to the whistle and consistently gets defenders on the ground. He's got size, again, versatility. I think he could play center or a guard. He's only going to get bigger and stronger. But this kid loves Georgia, and he plays with a mean streak, and that's what I really like about him. Plays with leverage. He shows good footwork. He's mobile. And again, he's not the biggest guy. He's not the strongest guy. And he doesn't have the jaw-dropping film that a lot of other maybe 5-star offensive linemen have. But this kid he's a dog on the field, and he is intense and he is physical, and he's just a 3-star, but it doesn't matter. I think he's a low 4-star guy when I watch him play, and he is a fun player to watch because he gets after it. So he's one of Georgia's lowest ranked commitments, especially and on the offensive line. They've got several offensive linemen committed. He's one of the lowest ranked, but I think he is better than his ranking right now, which again, I don't have it in front of me. I thought I did, but just it's low. It's low. It is too low, in my opinion, because I have an idea of where it's at. I think he's top 60 offensive linemen in the country. His ranking, I think, has moved. Actually, let's look at it right here. He is the number, I got to scroll down a lot because, again, he's not ranked super high. He's the number 52 interior offensive lineman in the country, number 531 overall. Disagree. I'm going to say disagree there for sure. All right, so just a few guys who I think should be ranked higher than where they are, but again, moving forward, we should have a lot of Georgia team stuff. The season's right around the corner. We hope y'all are with us over on dawgpost.com. We got a great deal going on right now, so make sure you're checking us out. A lot of our stories are free. You don't get a lot of free stories everywhere else. You do on Dawg Post. Check us out. Hope you are with us for the season because it's right around the corner. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on the website.